Hey everybody, it's me, the Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. It's Monday night and this is Twisted Stitches. Thanks so much for joining us again for our show. We've got an amazing show with us this evening. We've got some great guests, we've got amazing fashions, and we've even got some great friends and giveaways as always. So buckle up for the next, we're going to figure about an hour. We're going to be here talking with you about the new yarns from Noro and lots of their new fashions. We've got our guests tonight are Jeff Denecke, the Chief Operating Officer at Noro at Knitting Fever and Noro and Euro Yarns, and Carla Scott, who is the executive editor of the Noro Magazine. So I'm just so excited about tonight, and so we're going to get started. My one thing before we start is I just want to thank the folks who signed up for the Noro preview, and we had such a great time with those preview calls. And I hope you're enjoying all your little tasting samples of yarns that you got. And yeah, so we're still doing Noro tasting kits. If you are interested, you can find those on the website. And I think we've got some friends visiting us. I see my announcer pointing to the phone.
Leticia Castro, hello from Miami. Nice to see you again. We've got Ann McClure, looking forward to seeing the designs, exclamation point. Noro Knitting Magazine, we know them, exclamation point. Anna Calfayan Menford, hello Paulette, so excited to see what's new. Welcome. If you guys are joining us for the first time, let us know who you are and where you're from.
Yeah, we love our fans, and thanks so much. So let's start by introducing Jeff Denecke. As I mentioned, Chief Operating Officer for Knitting Fever and Euro Yarns. And Jeff, you're here today. You very graciously offered to help to talk a little bit about Noro and the inspiration for the new yarns and the new colors that are out. So why don't you tell us what you've got there?
I will. So this year we have actually 3 new qualities that were launched for the fall-winter season. One is a little bit different for Noro. Noro is known typically for being very, very colorful and self-striping type yarns. But this fall he has introduced a Noro tweed, or you could say Noro's take on tweed, a yarn called Sweeto, which has so far gotten a great reception and people are very excited about it. And I'm sure you're going to show everybody some of the garments in a little bit.
Absolutely.
And then the other 2 yarns for this season were a thought towards luxury. So we have one yarn that has a 3rd cashmere in it called Miyabi, and another yarn which has a decent amount of Angora in it, which we're calling Okunoshima, which is named after an island in Japan called Rabbit Island. If you ever go to visit there, it's just covered in rabbits.
Wow.
So 3 fun, new, interesting yarns from Noro.
Yeah, this is the Sweeto right there. Lovely. And I love that little, the slubs in there that create that, as you said, Noro's take on tweed. Really cool.
Yeah, I mean, Noro is very unique in the way he creates yarns. It's very hand done and intensive process. You'll see a little bit of it, everybody that's listening, in the upcoming Noro Magazine next season. So you have something to look forward to. There's going to be a special article in there with a number of new photos about how Noro manufactures and makes the yarns. So if you're interested in seeing that, check it out. But the craftsmen, they dye all these fibers, all the colors, hundreds of colors in small batches, and lay them out by hand. And it's a very interesting and beautiful process in putting together what you turn into a garment that's fun to wear and colorful and enjoyable.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Speaking of listeners, we've got Julie Vincent. Greetings from Madison, Wisconsin. Anna Maria Milani. Hello, everyone. So looking forward to this. We've got Phyllis Deedle Smebby. Sorry if I screwed that up. Hello from Minnesota. We have Judy Rondeau Snicken. Judy Snicken is watching. Jeff Grill says, hi, guys. Andrea Whitmore. Hello from Northwest Indiana. We have Parista Javidi. Hello, triple exclamation point. And Janzy40. Just me from Janzy. Your Janzy. We have Noro Knitting Magazine. Okay, put a link up. Thank you. Beverly Reiser, hi from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. We have Oh, wow.
We
This
have
is
lots
going,
of people.
I'm not going to be able to keep up with them
No,
all.
and that's okay. And that's okay. They know we love them all, and we're so grateful they're here. But here's what I will tell you. We just added another country. Is that called the United Kingdom?
Blimey.
We just got an order from the UK. So yeah, we just added to all our other countries that we ship to. Thank you so much. We are just loving it. So, all right, Jeff, what else do you have for us?
So that yarn I mentioned before, miyabi, that the one that's a third cashmere, that word miyabi is Japanese for elegance, and that yarn is very, very elegant and soft, as are the colors. And you'll see some very beautiful garments made up in that you're going to show them in a little bit. So that one is a very special product. Yep, that's one of the hats.
The miyabi. Yeah, that's one of the hats from miyabi. I would love to show you a sample of the yarn, except that I used mine for the tasting kits. So we'll have to wait for the miyabi to come in before I can show that. But I do have a little bit of the oku left. Oh, I do have one. Yeah, I do. Here, I actually wound the miyabi into a ball. There it is.
Yeah, so nothing like a beautiful warm cashmere hat in this cold winter I think we're going to have, since the beginning of fall has been so cold.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
At least here in the Northeast anyway.
Well, you know what? We didn't have a very cold winter last year, but with fall starting as early as it has, we may wind up with a cooler winter. Yeah, we're going to go over these in a little bit, but here's another example very quickly of the miyabi worked up, and Carla will give us some details on this in a little while. Yep. Super, super. So I want to make sure I give Jeff his time, his due. Anything else you wanted to share with us?
So just to give you a little bit of a taste, this has not been mentioned anywhere before, but there's going to be 2 new yarns coming out next spring. So keep your eyes peeled. Breaking news on your show, not mentioned anywhere yet.
I love when we're first to get something.
2 new Noro yarns coming out for spring. So stay tuned. You'll probably see them first on your show too.
Don't tell anybody.
Just all of your knitting friends.
Well, that's great, Jeff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I know you have a wonderful history with Noro, and I really appreciate all that you share with us and keeping us up to date on the newest yarns that are coming out, as well as what's here. So what are we looking at for shipment time on some of these yarns? Because some of them haven't even arrived yet. Do we have an idea yet?
Sweeto is in. The last couple of colors came in a few weeks ago. Okonishima just came in this morning.
Oh, yay.
4 of the 8 colors came in this morning. The other 4 are going to come in first week in October. And miyabi is going to be towards the end of October.
Okay, so yes,
unfortunately been a few delays here and there because of COVID with, raw supplies getting back and forth from where they're being shipped. But
Right. And yeah, so, people don't realize the domino effect that has happened with COVID. If they can't get the yarn, the wool to the mills, they can't create the yarn, and then they can't get it shipped back. And so, it's that big mushroom, that big snowball that we have that's taking a little bit extra time. But I did mention when I put all the information on our website that many of these things are pre-orders when you order them. So there are folks who ordered some Andiamo a month ago, and I finally just got those in the other day. So get your orders in so that when when the yarn comes, we can ship it right out to you.
Good idea.
Yep. Okay. Well, Jeff, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here, and you're welcome to sit on. But if you need to beg out, that's not a problem. We'll be chatting with you real soon.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm going to be listening, but I'm going to get my face off the screen and give everyone something better to look at. So take care.
Aren't you sweet? Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, and so now,
yay,
Carla Scott,
yes,
the executive editor of Noro Magazine, number 17. I am honored to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being here. This is just great. It's super.
Well, thank you for asking me. I'm really excited. I love this issue. It's one of my favorites. So
now, do you work on all the Noro magazines?
Yes. I work on, choosing the designs, working with the designers. I work on the instructions, the layout, just about everything from beginning to end.
Okay.
Except for the printing. Other than that, I work on everything.
And so is there a special, do you have any an inspiration for the magazines when they come along, or do you have something in mind?
You had asked me that before, and I think that what inspires me for each magazine are the Noro yarns themselves and their new colors, and so that's what gives me the inspiration. And I always like to put in garments. I like to put in some accessories, some home deck, some shawls, so I break it down into either color or particular types of garments. And also the stitches are so important because it's so much fun you can have with Noro and all their colors.
Yes.
And the way that designers work with them and with the solids and the self striping, and well, they're not really solids, the solo, the ones that are kind of solid, and the mix and match of that. And I love to do how-tos, so I like to pick wonderful stitches. So that's my inspiration each time. And there's always something new that comes up, and I'm always learning something new.
Well, that's great. Well, you've got some great designs that you're sharing with us today. And for the audience out there, if you have any questions for Carla as we go along, don't hesitate to ask. And we'll do our best to get as many questions answered as we can on the show. And that I'm always responding to your questions after the show as well.
The comments are coming a little faster than we're able to keep up with, but I did want to acknowledge we've got some fans from Wisconsin, from Torrington, Connecticut. We've got Cortland, New York. We've got Rhode Island, and many, many more. Pennsylvania. Okay, let's see what else. And Connecticut and more Michigan. Alrighty.
Super. Okay, so why don't we get started?
Okay, great. So are we gonna try to go from the beginning to the end?
Well, let's see how we go.
Try that.
Yep.
Okay, so the other thing that I do is we have specific stories, and our first story we call it Green Light, which has to do with the color green, and that first garment is in one of their new yarns, Sweeto, which is 100% wool, and we're talking about those wonderful flecks. There it is.
Yeah.
You can see that that really bright green flecks and yellow flecks in that yarn. It's just gorgeous.
This color especially, I think is perfect for this sweater.
Green has always typically not been a really popular color, and people say they can't wear it, but this green, there's just so many different colors in it. I think really just about anyone can wear this.
Yeah.
With a jacket with a shawl collar.
Yes, love it.
Side seam shaping, and really simple. A lot of these garments are just knit in stockinette because it really shows the yarn well. So you've got ribbed edges, and it's a thicker gauge, so it's nice, quick, fast knit.
Yeah, I thought I would
just love it.
I'm just gonna throw this on real quick.
Yeah. So the button band, after it's all done, the button bands are picked up, and then the shawl collar is picked up along the bands and decreases an easy shawl collar. It's not short rows, it's just decreased each side to get a little bit of a roll. So
love the little pockets on here.
I love pockets on cardigans. Yeah. 7 pockets. They're fabulous. Really nice. Jeannie Chin designed this. Really,
very pretty.
Yep. Yeah.
So this one is on our website.
Yeah, it's color number 8. In case you know.
And you can see we have the full range of the Sweeto colors in stock.
Mm-hmm.
We've got fans from Kansas, San Francisco, Minnesota.
Great.
So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we are a little yarn shop, not a yarn shop. We are a yarn bus. We operate out of a 25-foot minibus that right now is pretty much in dry dock because of COVID. So we have turned the lower level of our home into a filming studio so that we could bring the show to you every week.
We've got a few questions. Susan wants to know, do you ever do top-down sweaters?
Oh, sure. We've got lots of top-down sweaters on our does it Noro?
Yeah, every once in a while. It depends on the designer. There are certain designers who do top down only. So we do them sometimes, but it's not a favorite of mine just because I'm just not used to it. But you can turn anything into a top down if you want.
Well, you know what's interesting is this is not in this magazine, but and it's not really top down, but it doesn't have that doesn't have that traditional shaping.
It's got all different directions.
Yeah, this is
that. Yeah.
So you know you're knitting triangles.
Right. Yeah.
And you know you got a triangle here, a triangle here, a rectangle in the back.
Yep.
And then 2 rectangles for your sleeves. So this is a different, you know, just a little different style as well. But you know, I noticed that Noro doesn't have a lot of top-down sweaters.
They don't.
No.
Diane wants to know, is there a crochet pattern for that?
For what? Which one? The cardigan?
The Sweeto cardigan?
No.
No.
And Parisa wants to know, can this be made into a long cardigan?
Absolutely. Yes.
All it takes is a little more yarn.
It takes a little more yarn, yes. And because it is slightly shaped, so you want to just be careful where you add that length. I would add it between the end of the shaping and the armhole, the armhole depth.
Yeah.
That's where I would add that length. Or maybe
that's a good point.
Or depending on how much longer you want to make it, you might want to divide it between the beginning and the end before the armhole. But absolutely, sure can.
Well, you know, it's lovely having someone who's not only part of the magazine, but who knits and who knows knitting.
Yes.
What pattern was the one you just showed us with the triangles?
That is called, this is not in the new book. It's on our website. It's called the Asymmetrical Pullover. It's from issue 15. Okay, where are we heading next?
Okay, so next, number 2 is turtleneck pullover. Can you, let's see. It's in tabby. There she is. Yes. This is in tabby, wool and polyamide. It's a simple square armhole sweater pullover, and the shoulders are joined with a 3-needle bind off. And I just love the way this striping works. It's really, you know, see the nice 3-needle bind off. It's good with this little bit thicker yarn.
Really pretty, yeah. And this is classified as a 3, a DK weight.
It is classified as a 3. It's designed by Rosemary Drysdale, my very, very good friend, and it's color number 6.
Yeah.
So it's really a quick, easy knit. That's the only kind Rosemary will do, quick and easy. And it's a classic shape. It fits really nice at the shoulders, and it's got a lovely turtleneck. Yeah.
Let me just show you the back. It's one of those basic sweaters that just looks like it's going to fit beautifully when you put it on. And I love, again, the simple stockinette stitch on it.
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
Love. Nice. Okay. Next, we have that V-neck vest that you showed earlier, Miyabi.
Yes, V-neck vest. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to hold this one up for you because it's not on a mannequin.
Designed by B. Naretto. And this is the one with the cashmere. Oh my gosh, it feels so lovely. It has
it does.
35% cashmere and the rest is in wool. Now this one is worked in the round to the underarm, and by working it in the round, you have so many more stitches cast on, so the striping is a lot thinner than if you work them in pieces. The striping would be wider.
Got it.
So this one's in the round, and then you have to separate and work the back and the front. And if you want, for example, the V-neck, you want the colors to match, you might have to join another skein around that same color so that the purples match up.
Right.
And what's interesting on this is the neck. Yeah, you're showing it now. Like the neck at the center front is an overlap neck. So, you know, it's really, really, it's very nice. And it's got a bit of shaping as well.
Sure does. So it looks like, as you mentioned, adding a second skein there so you can get the stripes to be the same. I see that.
Some people want to do that and some people don't really care. They just, you know, so it's, if you want it, then you have to, you know, join it with the same, and the same color of that ball.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's a fun one. And then next we have an A-line pullover. It's a 3/4 sleeve. Got skinny stripes. No, it's a pullover. Oh yeah, there it is with, yes, I was couldn't tell. Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna take the
Yes. So this one is designed by Kanita Tully, and it's in Okunoshima, which is silk, wool, Angora mohair. Beautiful, also a beautiful yarn. Very simple, worked in 2-row stripes. So these are with, it's only one color, number 4, but it's worked in a 2-row stripe. So you start one ball from the inside and one ball from the outside. So you know when you're working with Noro yarns where you start, the color's different. So
right.
by doing that, you get that lovely striping effect that you wouldn't get if you just worked from one skein.
Right.
So it's a really fun way to do that. The back has a shirt tail hem. It's
really cute. I just tried to show that off too.
Yeah, see that? Yeah. And let's see, it's an angled, this has an unusual construction. It's an angled armhole, but the sleeve cap is a raglan, but it fits in beautifully. I when I first saw it, I thought, is this sleeve, is this right? Can this raglan fit into this angled armhole? And it fits beautifully. So it makes, by having the sleeve cap a raglan, it elongates the sleeve cap a bit.
Yeah, really very, very nice. And I like the simple neckline on it.
Yes, very simple. Yep.
Ann McGlure says that striped A-line pullover is really pretty.
Sure is. Sure is. Okay, what do we have next?
My favorites one of my favorites is coming up, the cover sweater, the mitered jacket.
Okay, I'm gonna yeah, this is back
you
here.
Have that handy? This one is not for beginners. And Parisa, I know you're on. I bet you'd really like to make this. The construction of this is so interesting. And as I said, I like to do interesting stitches. So I have a whole how-to on how to do the miters. So you start with the whole body with this long piece of I-cord. So if you don't like using I-cord, doing I-cord with the double pointed needles, which I love to do, you can get an I-cord maker. So you make this whole long strip of I-cord. It'll be the back and the 2 fronts. And then you start with the center back and you pick up stitches along the side of the I-cord and work the mitered squares, mitered pieces, I guess they're squares, in the back, for the back, and then the 2 fronts. And it's in a real nice garter ridge. And what I love about this technique in Noro yarns is all the different colors, the way that they show up in these mitered squares. And then the way you put the mitered squares, do the mitered squares, you see it creates an automatic raglan angle, which you don't have to do any shaping. And then the sleeves are in garter stitch. And if you take a look at the bottom of the sleeve cuff, you'll see that there's you first make that garter piece like 10 stitches or whatever widthwise. Then you do an applied I-cord right above, and then you pick up, and then you knit the sleeve up. So this has got a lot of different interesting construction, and but it's so much fun to knit. Now, a fun fact, I think it's kind of fun, I make all the swatches for the how-tos. And the reason I do that is I go on the shoot, so I need to know what technique I'm going to show, and I need to knit it in order to know what I'm going to show. So this one, you might notice that I have to make several swatches because we don't have time for me to just keep knitting. So you might see that some of the swatches are slightly different colors and in their different steps, and it's because I had to make another swatch with a different part of the Noro yarn. But it's what, I love that part. So, and there's a really nice tutorial about how to put the sweater together.
Well, the tutorials are very helpful. You kind of take the mystery out of it, and for me, it would make me feel a little less intimidated by the pattern.
Yes, I mean, I am an instruction writer, so it's very difficult sometimes to explain things in words. So pictures are really helpful.
Excellent. Yeah, great job with that. And I think my favorite part is the way the I-cord angles, and then the sleeves and the garter stitch. Really very, very pretty.
It's really pretty. It's really, really nice. Yeah. It's a fun garment.
Put her back here.
Then we have a raglan pullover. that's made in Kanzashi.
Yeah.
There you go. This is designed by Catherine Hunt. And this Kanzashi is silk, mohair, wool, rayon, and nylon in color number 6. Now, if you want the stripes to match, this is from the designer. If you want your stripes to match at the side seams on the front and back, then you need to start both pieces. Did you have them match? She had them pretty much matching. You have to start both pieces at the same color, place, and then you can get them to match. As I said, some people don't care, some people do.
Right,
So,
right.
That's
look at this lovely sample they sent.
Yeah, I know. I love
colors. The colors are so vibrant.
Nubby yarn, so it's kind of hard to sew together with that. So the designer suggested, and I would suggest as well, that you can use a plain yarn of any color to sew with stitch, because it's so much easier to sew than with the nubby yarn. So you could take a solid wool, like a worsted weight wool, and sew with that.
So is this sleeve is really?
It's a raglan sleeve. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a raglan sleeve.
Okay.
And it has a nice wide neck, and just the way she sewed it, she must have used and the rolled collars like that. She must have used a different yarn to sew the seams.
So really very pretty. Let's just turn it around so you can see the back.
Very good job. Yep. Yeah, it looks really nice.
Really sweet.
Nice and textured.
The colors in the magazine, in the garments, are just so special.
I know. They really
did a great job.
Okay, next we have a raglan cardigan. It's kind of a longish cardigan with the floats on the front.
I'm going to let Pam show that one off to you.
Yes, there it is. That one is designed by Mary Lynn Patrick, who happens to be my sister. And the reason I'm in the industry. And so the stripe pattern is stockinette stitch, but then you see the floats, it's a slip stitch. So when you slip the stitches, you have the yarn in the front, which creates the floats. Right. And if you notice that the colors change, and what she's done is that every 2 rows of slip stitch pattern, she changes to a different color of a yarn. So she's an A and a B yarn. And then that would vary the slip stitches a little bit. What else is fun about that? The back, front, and sleeves are worked separately, and then it's joined at the armhole, and the whole raglan is a raglan yoke. Then it's worked in one piece, the fronts and the sleeves and the back. And you
look at the long ribbing on the
that nice deep rib. If you see, it kind of creates a little puff above the sleeve. So that's very much in style. The little puffy sleeves. Sleeve statements were really big this past season, but I love that long rib.
Excellent.
Yep.
Okay. Are there any questions, Paul, while we have take a breath here?
No, they're actually marveling. We have comments like exquisite,
I'm
stunning
sorry, I
mitre
just
jacket.
going on and on. I have so much to say, so sorry about that.
We have
wow.
Every
now and then.
Beautiful. It's gorgeous, and it goes on and on and on.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, and so some of these patterns, as I mentioned, are on the website already. Others are not. We have listed some of the yarns on the website as well. And you know that a lot of times we have just the kits up, but with the way the Noro yarns are coming in right now, I thought it just as well to put up the yarns. And if you know how many skeins you need, you can always just, order that number of skeins from the catalog or from the website. Okay. So next we have this lovely little piece by Bachi.
Yes, designed by Annabelle Spear. I love this. So it's 2 different colors. It's a Bachi. It's number 3 for the body and number 6 for the sleeves. And when we first got the yarn, and I was actually out there in visiting, and when Annabelle was knitting this, and she said, I don't know if it really shows the difference, that you can tell that the sleeve is one color, and the sleeves are one color and the body is another. But I think it really shows. And what she did was, I think, like 6 rows of stockinette and then 2 rows of seed stitch. So that nice little texture and those fun bumps that you get by, purling a knit and knitting a purl in this color, it really makes it pop. And it's really a lot of fun. And, raglan sweaters are always so flattering. And, you know, this is simple 3/4 sleeves. You can make them longer if you want. It's just a fun one to make.
Excellent.
And that's the end of the first story.
So I have to get my little friend off the beginning of the second story here.
This story is called Come Around, and it's a group of shawls and wraps, which we always like to put in because everybody wears shawls, makes and wears shawls and wraps. This is beautiful. This one is brioche. It's by Faina Goberstein. So the whole shawl is knit in just one long rectangle. So it's a brioche cable with the brioche in the middle and on the sides. And it really shows this yarn so lovely. It is Miyabi in color number 18. It's knit sideways. And it's just beautiful. Really, really nice. And that's one of the new ones, right, Miyabi?
Yes, yes.
Yep, got the cashmere. Really, really nice. Love that one. Oh.
Yeah, very pretty.
Yep. And it's got such a nice, I can see that the fabric is so nice and springy. It's because of that brioche.
Yes.
It's very dense and very row intensive. So it takes you have to have a lot of patience, but I think
that's very good. That's a very good description. Row intensive.
Row intensive, yes, that's we use that term all the time. But I think with the Rowan yarn, I'm sorry, with the Noro yarn, you want to look forward to the next color, so you don't want to put it down. So
yeah, that's true.
About it, yeah. Okay, cabled wrap. It's kind of a bluish. Yes, this is in Okunoshima, color number 3, and it is a diamond cable. Is that the right side or the right side?
Yeah, we just discovered it's inside out.
It's on the right side.
There we go.
That's okay. So it's this lovely diamond cable and a little mini 2-stitch left cable going up on either side. So lots of texture. All of these wraps have lots of texture in them, and got some garter stitch edges to keep it kind of flat. And it's pearl in the middle. Really nice. And doesn't it feel nice? Yeah, it is such a beautiful yarn, and the colors look really nice on you. Beautiful. Yeah, lovely.
Okay. I'm gonna just throw this over my shoulders this way so they can see the front.
This is a simple cabled shawl designed by Fatima Hines in Swedo in color number 1. So it's like it begins at a point at the
right there.
edge. So you see it starts at one point with I think like 14 stitches, and then increases on one side, and then increases into the garter stitch. So the cable side stays straight the whole time, and it increases out in the garter to the center, then back down to the other point, and it's in the it shows up that yarn really nicely.
It really does.
Yeah.
And then let me see if I can show you the length of it.
Yeah, it's very nice. So you can wrap it so many different ways.
Yeah.
But it's lots of fun. Keep you nice and warm.
Really, yeah, and you can wear it over your shoulders. It's there's enough of the longer pieces to wear it over your shoulders as a shawl if you wanted to, and yet then you can also wrap it, which I always love to wrap mine from the front because I want everybody to be able to see the gorgeous design from the front.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And the Swedo, I would have thought that it was going to be more coarse.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not at all. It's not at all. Very, very soft feeling. It has that Noro feel to it. I will say that, but it's not coarse where I thought it might be. Really, very pretty.
Yep.
Okay, what do we have next?
We have that lovely blue scarf with the cable, the two different, it's in the Silk Garden Sock Solo and Silk Garden Sock. So this is my other favorite. Yes, isn't it gorgeous? So I've done a how-to on this as well.
Yes.
Because it's a very interesting stitch. It's got the cables, but they're wrapped in the middle, and the way you do that wrap is different than ever I've done. And usually you just wind it around, but this is a different technique of wrapping, and I really like it. And what's nice about this, an interesting story. So you see the background is in the Silk Garden sock, and then the cables are in the solo. So I'm making my swatches, and I'm knitting about 2 inches, and I had the colors mixed up. So I had the background as the solo and the cables as and I said, well, maybe I could just show them a different way, but it just didn't look the same. So I had to redo it all. But anyway, I just like that combination of the solo and the Silk Garden, and it's really, really nice.
Is that solo? Is that sock or
sock? It's sock and sock solo.
Right. So I thought it was, because I took some colors out and I put some different color combinations out.
Yes.
So that people could see, you know,
you
just
can have so much fun with that, you know, choosing the background color, and you could have a completely different contrasting color for the cables if you wanted to. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I love the blue and gold. I thought this was really,
yeah, I like that a lot.
very striking.
Really yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so there's so many of them. Well, you know, we'll grab some of the colors later on to show folks too. Yeah. But I wanted to just take a second and show to some of our viewers who haven't had a chance to see the magazine yet, when you're doing this instructions here, the how-to.
Yeah.
Just it's written very clearly. You know, the images are there to help. Very, very nice. And I noticed this in so many of your magazines, how there's that how-to, and it's so helpful with the different designs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think we're up to Cool, Calm, and Collected.
Are up to Cool, Calm, and Collected. Yeah, the person that writes the copy has lots of fun with writing the Noro copy in their titles. So this is a collection of richly textured hats. You know, hats are great to do in Noro because they're kind of quick and fun. The first one is alternating rib hat, designed by Anastasia Blaze in Tabi, color number 5. All of these hats are worked in the round. I think people just work hats in the round now, so you don't have to worry about a seam. Yeah. And this is in a twisted rib, and that gives it a nice firm, you see the nice texture of that knit stitch. And then they weave in and out, and in the middle there's a little eyelet there, if you can see. Yeah. A little eyelet hole there in the middle of the, right in there. Yeah, it alternates. Yes. So it's a fun knit to do. Yeah. You know, knitting twisted stitches, it's always knit through the back loop, and the purl is just a regular purl. It's fun to do. It's just a little bit different. And then I also pulled out some of our we'll get through. What's our next one? The next one is it's the kind of 2-color sorry, zigzag cable hat in Sweeto. It's kind of like a beige color. Yeah. Yep. And so that starts with a knit 2 purl 4 rib, and then those knit 2 stitches kind of zigzag along the top of the hat, and then it decreases down. And you can certainly add, they have those lovely faux fur pom-poms. Yes, I love that. I thought that was a really pretty color on that hat. Mm-hmm. Yep. Very nice. And then we have the cabled hat, which I think was right there on one of your hat forms. One of our mannequins, our mannequin form. There you go. That one. Yep. And this one is in Okunoshima, color number 2, diamond cable. What else about it? Worked in the round. Again, you know, just pretty simple. Yep. But there, you know, people are hat lovers, and they really are. You know, I love this. Actually, I mean, I'm fluffing up my pom-pom to show you how pretty that wine color looks on that. Yes. And if there's some particular color that you like the most, you might want to start with that color first. Yeah. You know, you can, you know, this is doesn't take the full ball, so you want to find that section that you really want it to work with.
Antoinette Kellum wants to know, what pattern is that?
This one here.
It's a cable pattern, a diamond cable pattern.
And this is in the magazine.
And then the
It's
magazine
number 15.
number 15 in the magazine.
Yep. And as I mentioned, we have the Okunoshima yarn on the website, and I believe this image is there to show an example of what you can make with one skein. So if you go to the Oku Yarns, you'll find that one right there.
Yeah.
And then we have this lovely little number.
Yes, that you showed early on. And,
Right.
This is in Mayabi with the cashmere. It's an uneven rib pattern. And let's see. There's an uneven rib pattern for the brim, a series of left and right twists meander to make a honeycomb-like stitch. And then the center of the diamonds alternate between knit and purl. Can you see that? Like sometimes they alternate from knit to purl.
Yep. Here you got your knit.
Wait, yeah.
Of your stockinette, and then your knit stitches there of knit and purl.
Kind of fun. So you just have to really pay attention when you're knitting.
Yeah.
I have to jump in. Anna Maria says, looks like some new hats in my future.
There may be.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
Anna Maria loves hats.
Convivial cowls.
Let's see, which one are we starting with?
Cowls are a great way to use Noro yarns too.
Yep.
And it's great for the winter coming up. They're so much fun and they look so nice. So let's see. You want that one first? That one, we can look at that one, what you showed first. That's okay. I can jump around. So this one is a 2-color cowl by Shayna Billow. It's in Bachi. It's in 2 yarns, Bachi number 7 and Kanzaki number 1. And it's a slip stitch pattern. And so the Bachi is in the stockinette stitch and the Kanzashi is in the slip stitch pattern. So when you slip the stitch, that's how you make that pattern. It's really fun. So it's 2 different yarns instead of 2 different colors. And it's really, really fun. It looks great on you. It looks really nice and super easy to knit.
There's your Bachi and Kanzashi.
Yeah. Yes. So that's also fun to do, to mix the 2 different yarns.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to skip around. That was my bad.
It's not a problem. Okay. Not a problem at all. So this one is a lace cowl by Vanessa Ewing in Okunoshima in color number 7. And it's in a lace garter ridge stripe pattern. And it's worked sideways. You cast on 224 stitches and you work the pattern for 40 rounds and bind off. So if you like casting on a lot of stitches, and the thing is, it kind of goes fast. That when you're done, it's done. It's only 40 rounds.
Well, that's it. It's only 20. It's 225 stitches is the same. We have our signature shawl. It's called our Twisted Stitches shawl, and that has 225 stitches on it as well. So yes. So
well, I think that the only problem with that is if you're joining it, if you're once you knit 2 inches and then it's Mobius. I guess if it's a Mobius, it could be fine too. This is pretty. The office who was making something like this, and he knit for 2 inches and saw that he had twisted it, and it was a very intricate pattern, and you had to take the whole thing out.
You just have to. There's just no way. No way you can fix that.
Some people say if you work about an inch before you join it, then it's easier because you have enough fabric on there. It may not twist and then you just have to sew that little piece at the end.
Right. Huh, good point.
So that's what some people do.
Teresa Raker says, love that color.
Yeah, that's a nice color. Okay, sideways cowl. This is kind of like a bandana. So it starts out with 14 stitches, I think, and then it shapes out to it increases out and then decreases back, and it has garter stitch along the edge of both sides. And what you do at the end is you roll it under. Yes. So what it gives you is because the garter is going to curl anyway, so you just put it under, tack it down, and you get a nice smooth edge, so it looks like a piece of fabric. And
Thinking.
hey, that's great for masking. Yeah,
I'm thinking.
I'm thinking I should do that for New York, because I go out every day and I have to wear a mask. So
Well, I'm thinking if you put a little lining
you
in
have
it.
to put a cotton lining in it. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? We were
Yep.
just talking about the bandana type masks today.
Yep. A lot of people wear the real bandanas as masks. They're
Yeah.
not quite as good, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
These are fun.
yeah. And that's the end of that story.
Patricia Prenderville, I really like that cowl.
Oh, hi, Pat.
Oh, must be someone you know.
It is. There are a few people here I know, yes.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. Thank you to them for joining us.
Our apologies for not getting to every single comment. There were so many coming through that they're faster than my eyes can roll.
Wow. Okay. Our next story is called Ornate Ornamentation. So this is our home deck story. This is a really cool blanket or Afghan. It's designed by Bonnie France in Kanzashi and Bachi. So color 7, they're both color 7. So they're blocks of stockinette stitch is knit with the Kanzashi, and the broken rib is in the Bachi. And I love the broken rib. It's knit 1 row, and then the second row you knit 1, purl 1. So it's a super easy, you don't have to worry about knit the knits and purl the purls. So she then sewed them all together and said to make more of a contrast, you can put some of the squares on the wrong side.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so it looks like it might have been a mistake, but it's not. It's meant to be that way to get, just a little more
texture in that texture.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, so it's just fun and all the different colors, and it's really cool.
Very super, very, very pretty.
Our friend Rita Johnson Cotterman, good evening from Eureka.
Oh,
Yeah.
And Joan DeRosiers, hi from Quebec, Canada.
nice.
Lovely. Okay, what do we have next?
I know. I noticed this on the couch there. The blanket. It's kind of like a bit of a take of a log cabin blanket.
Yeah.
So you start with the center piece, and you work. It's in. Let's see. It's in Silk Garden sock solo and sock. So you start at the bottom. You do a little seed, then stockinette in the regular Silk Garden, and then the Silk Garden. The solo, and then you go. The middle is the sock, and then you go to the top, and then you bind it off, and then you're going to pick up along one of those sides and knit outward, and I'll do the sock, the solo, the sock, and then you do it on the other side, and finish it with the seed, and then you do the other side going the other way. It's fun. It's a super easy, and then you have a little bit of seed stitch border to finish up at the end, but it's fun.
So I thought, my mistake, I thought this was Silk Garden, not Silk Garden
We have a
sock.
question. Joan Gozowski, is that Afghan sewn together?
Yes.
The other
No,
Afghan.
The other one, yes. those
Oh,
are
yes,
blocks.
the other one is sewn together. Yes.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, this is Silk Garden. Yeah, that one is sewn together. Yes. And she did.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I thought that was up.
You thought that was?
I thought it was Silk Garden. It's Silk Garden sock.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look at the instructions. I might have. I was doing this today, so I might have got that wrong. Oh, that's my mistake. My notes were wrong. It is Silk Garden. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, the only reason I asked was because I pulled out some Silk Garden colors
You're absolutely right. Yep.
to to show the way it could look with different colors.
Yep.
So I just wanted to be sure I grabbed other things
You're
if I had the wrong ones
You're
out.
right. I was wrong. Yeah.
That's okay. You just got more creative.
Yeah.
So here, let's hold this out so they can see the whole
Yeah,
outfit. This is a nice size.
It's a nice size. Yep.
And if you quilt it all, that log cabin, it's really very pretty.
Yep.
Very, very nice. It's a great throw. Although I don't know if I put it on my sofa where my cat likes to lay.
Yes.
Definitely not. And then
The zigzag pillow.
yes, because we don't have the other pillow, so this is the one we can
So this is Curion in color number, there are 2 colors, 188 and 343. So Matthew Schrank designed this. So when he changed colors, you see that little dark zigzag. So he did, you know, part of the row in the one color and then the end of the row in the other. So it makes this kind of asymmetrical change of the color way. So it's an interesting way. And if you turn it around, it's in the opposite direction.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's all knit in one piece, and then you fold it over and put it around. So it's just kind of fun, you know.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this, how many balls of yarn does this one take?
This one takes 1 ball of each.
Okay. Okay. And I have not checked. Just say.
Yep.
Fine. So those are some fun home accessories.
Yep. Yep. And there's one more pillow, cabled.
Yeah, I don't happen to. That's one they didn't send me, so I don't have that sample.
Okay.
But certainly
I did a how-to on that as well. It's just some fun cables. So.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. I said that. Yeah, there they are.
Yeah.
Those are fun. They're very interesting cables.
Well, what I did is that, yeah, it's interesting the way you work it. But what I did, even though cables are pretty easy, I gave you ways to do it without a cable needle going down at the bottom, because this yarn is so stiff. It's easy to, to do without the cable needle, because the stitches will just sit there and not unravel because of the texture of the yarn. So
right,
I threw something like that in just to make it.
Is that Curion as well?
That one is Bachi.
Cool.
And the back is all moss stitch, and it's Bachi number 5. Yep.
Okay, Miss Pam. We have Miss Pam here. Pam is a member of my quarantine. We spend a lot of time together and not with a lot of other people. So
yeah.
I feel really good having Pam here with us.
It's our last.
Jan, but Jan couldn't be here tonight.
This is our last story. It's called Soft Season. These are pickups from Japan. These designs are done in Japan, and then they send us the specs, and we have to write up the instructions. So it's staggered eyelet blocks with a little garter ridge in the middle, and it's a slight A-line shape, drop shoulders, and garter stitch collar. So this one looks like a fun one to do.
It's very comfy. Yeah.
Yeah, the styles that they gave us this season are very, nice, loose fitting garments. Yeah, lots of fun.
And then we have here. This is our next one here.
Then the next one is the pink one, slant stitch. Sweeto, color number 4, bright pink, very bright pink. We had a lot of hard time getting the color in the magazine to match the color of the yarn. Reds and pinks are hard to match in print.
Nitty Gritty. Kathy Stoddard wants to know, how can we purchase the magazine?
Oh, on our website, you can purchase the magazine by itself. You just look for Noro Magazine number 17. And so that's purchased as a standalone. Also, any orders that come in that are only featured in the magazine will include the magazine. And the third way you can get the magazine is you can order a tasting kit where you get 6 sample mini skeins, and along with the magazine and free shipping on your orders over $50. So you'll find the magazine at KnittyGrittyYarnGirl.com. Thank you. Sorry about that interruption there.
No, that's fine. No,
okay.
That's great.
I love the color in this. Now, you said you had a hard time getting it to match.
Yes, and so you see that slant stitch. It's like a 5 stitches of seed stitch that you shift over every other row or every row. I'm not sure which one it is, but yeah, it's a really nice color, and it's more vibrant there than in the magazine. We tried really hard, but I just couldn't get it. But
well, I think it looks really quite nice. It's the pink in that picture is pretty vibrant, and it does, the color here is, of course, you can't get the depth in the magazine the way,
right.
the way you can. But this, the green showed up really nicely too.
Yes.
I just think Sweeto's fun yarn with
it's
the little.
So much fun to get those flecks of white or whatever color they choose. It's really fun.
Look at the purple. I just
Oh
think
wow,
that,
that's yeah.
yeah, that purple is really pretty with the pinks and blues in it.
Mhm.
Really nice.
Yeah. I like the gold.
Yeah,
That one. I love that one. Yeah.
this one down. Yeah,
Mhm.
rich, very rich. The green too.
Yeah, the green. That was the cardigan. Yeah. And there's the pink.
Oh, this is the next one. Is that? Oh, what's that going on? Nope, on the right. The next one. Yeah. Okay,
All right. This is the next one. Diagonal textured pullover. Lots of textures in these patterns. This is in Ito, number 130. The body is worked sideways from seam to seam, and the sleeves are picked up and knit down. And it's in a diagonal textured pattern, so it's just knits and purls. And then the lower edging, the ribbing is then picked up after everything's put together and knit down.
Ah, so the ribbing is knit down.
Yes, because it's knit sideways, so you can't, you want the ribbing to go the other way. So
Right.
that's how that works. And then, yeah, the neck and the lower edge is knit down.
And this is oversized.
Yes.
And
yes.
is this a one size?
Usually not. Let me check and see. That one is in, goes from small to 3X.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sizes.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Not too hard to do.
Yeah.
So these last few are in different directions. They like to do. It's fun to do the Noro yarns in different directions too, because you get the different striping and.
Yeah, and then so did the between the angles and then the stripes, it really creates a very interesting piece.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Here.
Next is the high neck pullover in Curion. So it's basically stockinette stitch, and then it's dotted with clusters of little left and right twists. So it's kind of like a bird's eye pattern in a way, in that's just dotted throughout, but these are with left and right twists. So it looks like little birds or butterflies or whatever you want to call them. And has rolled edges. It's a boxy silhouette, a little bit shorter.
Parisa Javidi says, I would love a cardigan like this. Well, you're in luck.
You can have one. You can have one. They're right online. Curion, I call Curion a real wool lover's wool.
Yes.
This is definitely has that wool that we remember from years ago. And to me, that's a real sweater.
And I think it's been around, I don't know about the longest, but I know Curion's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. Okay, where are we next?
And just in time for winter.
Yes, it is. This is a high-low pullover in Silk Garden, number 503. It's worked in multiple directions. So let's see, so you see this, the lace pattern. It's where are my notes?
Wait a minute, this is, I think we skipped one.
No, you didn't. No. Okay, so it's like it's a arrow lace. I was looking at the wrong number. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's worked in an arrow shape, 2 panels of that with stockinette. But back and front are worked sideways, and then the sleeves are picked up and worked down. So that's kind of one of the.
Is this the sweater you're describing?
Nope, that one.
This one?
I am. That's, see the arrowhead lace. Those panels?
Yeah. So sorry.
You see how it's going this way?
Yes. My bad. Yes.
Oh, that's fine. Yep.
And this one is in Okunoshima.
It's in Okunoshima. I said Silk Garden. That's what you got messed up because
that's where I got messed up.
Down to the next one. Sorry.
That's okay. That's where I got messed up. That's what you're describing this sweater with this yarn.
I'm sorry. It's getting late.
No big deal. No worries.
Yeah. Yeah, really nice.
And
nice
then now that's the Silk Garden one.
That's right. I just jumped ahead.
That's okay.
I love this one. I think it's really cool. So again, worked in different ways. Can you turn it around so we can see the back? It starts with the back. If it's easy, if it's not, don't worry about it.
No, she's a little squeaky. She's old.
That's okay. So what happens if you go down to the lower edge of the pattern? So you cast on all the stitches a rib for the back. You see that? And then you bind off on one side those 31 stitches there. And then you work that center panel, the center panel, and there's a diamond pattern, a pearl diamond pattern there. And then you're going to pick up stitches on either side of where the bind off was. It's kind of hard to explain. You'll have to read the instructions, but then the side panel is picked up along that bind off edge and goes around to the front. You see how part of it goes around to the front. There you go. So it's a funky, it's hard to describe in words, but it's, different directions. The back is longer. It's very unusual construction, but fun to do. You just have to,
and it doesn't look like it's difficult to do. Just
it's not. You have to just be good at picking up stitches. That's the only thing.
Oh, that's not hard. I'm good at that.
Some people don't like to, but it's actually not that bad.
Cool.
And then the sleeves, I think, are set-in sleeves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And whoever set them in did a great job.
They did.
My mother would be proud.
Yeah.
My mom was a sewing machine operator. She would be very proud of the way that sleeve was set in.
It's hard to get it. It's hard. You have to really, I'm not so good at it, but yeah, very good.
Take some practice.
Okay, we've got two more.
Yeah.
We've got Kanzashi. And wait a minute. I think I did this really late, so I might have messed up here.
Okay, so that's okay. This is looking at the Miyabi.
Miyabi, yes. I don't know why I called it the name of the sweater. I called it Kanzashi. I was copying and pasting, so sorry about that.
No worries.
It's Miyabi, and it's all made in one piece with two slanted openings for the armholes, and it's in kind of a, what is that pattern? It's just a textured knit and purl kind of a slanted stitch pattern, but it's all in one piece. Very interesting. Yeah, fun. I don't know, some of those vests you can try them on both ways. I don't know if this is one that does that. I don't think so, but some of them do.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think that one does. Okay, and this is the last one, and this one is in Kanzashi, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Again, it's made in one piece from the lower edge to the neck, and there you have the vertical slits for the armholes. So.
Yeah, so this has got the longer front.
Right. It's just, it's very little, there's no shaping to this, I don't think. Oh, no, there is some, yeah, there is some shaping to it. And it's just that extra fabric folds back. It's not a hood, it's just a collar. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this may be one of those that you can throw on the other way.
Maybe.
Because I don't see any, I don't see any stitching. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all one piece. There's no seams.
Right.
There are no seams.
Yeah, very, very, very interesting. I like this.
Yeah.
My goal was to wear this tonight. I think it's too warm for me to wear something just yet. Over my clothes.
Ann McGlure wants to know, does the Kanzashi vest have a hood?
It's why don't you explain that?
It's not, it's just the extra fabric. It's the way that it's shaped at the top. It kind of looks like a hood. It's not an official hood. It just
kind of flaps over.
Yeah, it's really just one piece, and then you do the side slit, the slits for the armholes, and then you shape it. It's like really deeply shaped shoulders, and it comes kind of to a point, and it comes to about like 4 inches at the top, and then you bind off.
So if I wanted to see,
because I don't think it really fits as a hood, because I think it's too small, and it's not meant to be. I don't think they didn't talk about it as well. Maybe I guess it could be.
Unless you had a really small head.
Well, yeah. I have a little head.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be a hood at all.
No,
I think
I don't
it's
think
meant
so.
to be kind of a you know, a little
just a little
collar.
color.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, that was, I think we covered everything in that book, didn't we?
We did.
Good job.
We did. We did it under an hour, just about an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we knew it would take it some extra time. And, you know, there's just so much for everyone to see.
Yeah.
And we wanted to give you a full view of that magazine because there are so many really great patterns in it. You know, sometimes you've got to look for something you like, but in this magazine, there are so many.
Yeah. Yeah.
Denise Mangini wants to know, what pattern is Carla's sweater? Love the edge.
I have to say,
Oh, your sweater you're wearing.
I bought this. So
Oh,
it's
no.
a machine made thing. I was thinking of trying to knock it off. I don't know if I could figure out how to do it, but yeah, it's machine made. I bought it. Sorry.
You know, when people ask me if I've made something that I didn't, I say no, but I could.
I say that all the time. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but I could.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was thinking of maybe trying to figure out how to do it in hand knitting.
Oh yeah. Well, when you figure it out, let us all know.
I will. I certainly will.
All righty. So do we have any other questions for Carla before she heads out and we wrap up our show?
No, but Denise Mangini says bummer.
Well, Carla, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I really enjoyed your descriptions and your knowledge of the yarns and knitting and all the patterns, all the garments that are in the magazine. It just makes it so much more enjoyable when we have someone with such experience and someone who is literally that close to the magazine as it was being put together. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
And if there are any comments that we missed throughout the show, we will be going through them and we'll make sure to respond to each one accordingly.
Yep, we sure will. We'll put up any links that that you asked for during the show. And we're going to be back next Monday. We've got some great things planned for you. So don't forget to watch us. Keep an eye out on Facebook for us. We'll be there. And see you next week. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye. Bye. Thank you.